Hey everybody, Greg Davies here. In this video I'm going to show you how to create Spry tab panels in Dreamweaver. I've got a blank HTML page here. I've already saved it as sprytabpanels.html. Just simply select where you want to place your Spry tab panels, and let's go to the Insert panel, Spry tab, and select Spry tabbed panels. And here it is. I turn Live View on. And here's our Spry tab panel. You can click on the different tabs and you can go back and forth and you can put different content on each panel. If you have an e-commerce website, it's going to be very useful to you. Turn Live View off and let's edit our Spry tab panels. Just roll over your Spry object and you can see this little blue tab shows up. Select that blue tab and notice the properties panel becomes populated with all of the properties for your Spry object, and you can edit it. You've got two different panels here. You've got tab 1 and tab 2. Let's add a third panel on top of that. You can change the stacking order of your panels using these arrows. And over here you can select a default panel. That's what visitors are going to see by default. And to name your panels, simply select inside of your tab and just type in whatever you want instead of tab XYZ. And if you click this little eyeball, you will see the content inside of your actual panel. You can see we've got content 1 inside of tab 1, content 2 inside of tab 2, and so on and so forth. Just paste in your content for your different tabs. I'm not going to do that right now. Let's save this page real quick. And Dreamweaver is saying that these two supporting files have been copied to a local site to make our Spry tab panels work. One of them is a CSS file, the other one is a JavaScript file. I hit OK. And now if you take a look at your files, just hit the refresh button or F5 and you will see we've got this new Spry assets folder containing the supporting files, and we can now style our panels with CSS. So let's go to the CSS panel and open up sprytabpanels.css. This is the CSS file that Dreamweaver created for our Spry tab panels, and this is what we're going to work with to style our panels. But there are so many class styles in here, it's very difficult to figure out what's going on, so we're going to use the code navigator to understand the CSS. And just put my cursor inside of this tab 1, and if I let go the mouse for a few seconds, this little indicator will show up right here. And click it to bring up the code navigator. Now you could also just alt click on the element or do a command option click on the Mac and you could bring up the code navigator right away. This code navigator allows you to easily see all the CSS rules that are affecting your current selection. So basically these are the rules that are affecting my selected tab. If you hover over them, you will see their properties. This first one is this tab panels class style. And if you take a look at the tag selector, you will see that this tab panels class style is applied to the containing div that is holding our panels. So over here, I double click this tab panels class style, I go to box, and you can see the width is 100%. So the div expands horizontally to fill up the available space. Let's change that to 500 pixels. I hit OK, and our panels are now 500 pixels wide. Great. Let's style our tabs. I'm going to click this little eyeball to select my tab 1, and then I alt click on it to bring up the code navigator, or I just click this little indicator. And the second rule here is this tab panels tab group class style, which doesn't seem to do very much because it only has a margin 0 and a padding 0 property. But this third rule has a lot of properties, so this is probably the rule that is styling our tabs. And the last one is this selected version, which is probably styling our selected tabs. And over here we also have a hover version that is probably styling our hover tabs. It's not always this obvious, so you really need to understand the code navigator and the CSS to figure out what's going on. And once you understand the CSS, then you can style your different elements. Now let's style our tabs. First we're going to work with the tabbed panels tab. And double click it, and you can edit the font of your tabs right here. I'm going to change the font family to Arial and the font size to 16 pixels. And I also changed the font color to white. Let's go to background, and I changed the background color of my tabs to gray. You could also use background images. I'm not going to do that right now. Let's go to border, and let's give it a solid 1 pixel black border all the way around. I hit OK, and let's style our selected tab. We're going to work with tab panels tab selected. Double click it, go to background, and I change the background color to some kind of dark gray. Let's go to border, and let's give it a solid 1 pixel black border all the way around. Hit OK. I turn Live View on, and here it is. Works pretty well. Let's style our hover tabs. We're going to work with tabbed panels tab hover. Double click it, go to background, and I change the background color of my hover tabs to dark gray. Let's go to border, and let's give it a solid 1 pixel black border all the way around. I hit OK. And finally, let's style our content area. I alt click on my content to bring up the code navigator, and let's see what we got here. It seems like this tab panel's content group class style is the most dominant. That's the one that has the most properties. So I'm going to double click that. And I change the font family to Arial. Go to background, and I change the background color of my content area to gray. Go to box, and I change the padding to 10 pixels all the way around. I go to border, and I give it a solid 1 pixel black border all the way around. I hit OK, and here's our Spry tab panel. You just need to fill it up with your own content, and you're ready to rock and roll. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more videos from me, go to my website easywebdesignsystem.com and join my list. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.